Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're pretty much just going to be talking about different prehistoric creatures I really think should and that I really want to appear, and pretty much new pieces of dinosaur shows, movies, and documentaries. And yeah, first we're just going to go over the new documentaries and shows, at least the big ones that I kind of remember that are coming out this year, or at least coming out soon. And because there are a couple of these which I'm actually not 100% sure they're releasing this year, but yeah, most of them are releasing 2025, and we're just going to be talking about I'm just going to go over each one of them, and then later on we'll get to the creatures. First we have Walking with Dinosaurs 2025, which is a reboot of Walking with Dinosaurs, and is going to be covering episodes from many different times. We actually know what each episode is going to be about, except for one. We know it's not going to be a Triassic episode, unfortunately, so we're not getting any Triassic animals. But we already know we have one Jurassic episode, and then the rest are Cretaceous episodes, so I wouldn't be surprised if this last one's also Cretaceous, but I'd actually at least hope it's Jurassic, or at least an episode focused on marine reptiles or pterosaurs. Anyways, we have Jurassic World Rebirth, a film that is coming out this year. Personally, I don't think this is going to be the best Jurassic film. I think it's going to be about as good as Dominion, if not worse, though possibly a bit better. And yeah, generally, I think they're just doing the same plot over again, and I don't think that the Jurassic franchise has been making the best quality films. A dinosaur film that I think is going to be good this year is Primitive War. It has a unique plot and, well, actual good dinosaur design. So yeah, Primitive War definitely coming out this year, though I don't know if it has an actual release date yet, but I know that it's supposed to come out this year. Anyway, Surviving Earth, another documentary we haven't gotten too much information on more recently, but also released in 2025, and it's going to be covering mini mass extinctions. So yeah, a lot of potential creatures. Any documentary that covers a wide span of time, especially Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic, is of course going to have a broader range of species. Anyways, we have Chaos Theory Season 3, which from what I've heard is most likely the last season, though there is hope that we may get more seasons after Season 3, though not 100% sure. Anyways, Dinosaur Empire, I believe, is the only one on this list where they don't have any release date that is relating to like 2025. I know it's supposed to be coming out eventually, but we haven't really got any new updates on it recently. At least I haven't seen any. Comment down below if you have seen. But it's a documentary following three Ceratosaurus brothers, and it's going to take place in the Morrison Formation. So it has a more narrow range than some of these other ones. Also, the next one, which is Forgotten Bloodline Gate, taking place, and I can't remember exactly where, but during the Miocene. It's going to be mainly focusing on Daeodon and also Meropus. So yeah, has the best Daeodon model, or Entelodon model in general, ever, and also Nigel Marvin's narrating it, so already like a top tier documentary. We're also getting another documentary later this year, which doesn't actually have a name yet from what I can tell, but it's basically just Life on Our Planet 2. It has Morgan Freeman's narrating. I'll link the article in the description, but Morgan Freeman's narrating. Basically, it's all the same people working on it. So it's basically Life on Our Planet 2, except they're only focusing on the Mesozoic, which I think is going one of two ways. Either it's the same as the Mesozoic segments in Life on Our Planet, which personally, when it comes to the dinosaur segments, like the Mesozoic segments, it was easily the weakest part of the documentary when it came to the prehistoric segments, in my opinion. Or this is going to be redemption for that segment, since I know a lot of people didn't really like the Mesozoic segment, and they probably felt that they did at least the Cenozoic and Paleozoic part well enough that they thought that they wanted to redo the Mesozoic part. So yeah, it's going to be basically going through the entire story of the dinosaurs. So yeah, we have a decent amount of opportunities here. And then we have Dino Dex. Dino Dex Season 2, actually, since for some reason Sinking Ship is releasing the show in a really weird way, so that basically they split up Season 1 into 3 separate seasons of 9 episodes. Well, the last one's going to be 8. And we don't actually have a release date for Season 2, like the actual Season 2. And we also haven't really been, it also technically hasn't been renewed, but it's unlikely that they're just going to end the franchise after Season 1. So they're most likely are going to release a Season 2. And based off the release date of the other episodes, I think it's pretty likely that it's going to be releasing around October 6th, 2025. So yeah. And also has species from all different times, so honestly also could have a broad range of species. So, moving on to our animals. First one, Ichthyotitan and or other large ichthyosaurs. First thing, Surviving Earth, I don't think is the most. I think it's kind of unlikely that it's going to appear here. Though maybe some type of giant ichthyosaur may appear, since again they're covering mass extinctions. Perhaps they'll cover the one at the end of the Triassic. Honestly, I'd love to see it here, though I don't know if this is where it's going to appear. Next, we have the Life on Our Planet documentary. Also don't think this is where they're going to appear, since I really hope they have a good Triassic segment. I don't know if giant ichthyosaurs they're going to actually cover there. Anyways, Dinodex, of course, always could have it, but there's nothing really particularly pointing towards us having them, but at the same time, there's nothing pointing us away from it, so we could always have it in Dinodex, though I don't really see any evidence for it to be there. Anyways, our next species, or species as I should say, is, well, generally, we see Diprotodon, Genyornis, and Thylacoleo in literally every single documentary on Australian megafauna. But I would like to see things change up a little bit. I would like to see Paleocestes, Dromaeornis, and Quincana. Which, okay, I want to see Paleocestes as a replacement for Diprotodon. It makes sense why we don't, since Diprotodon is larger than Paleocestes, even the largest species of Paleocestes. Diprotodon is quite a bit larger than that. Another thing is Paleocestes actually went extinct a little bit earlier than Diprotodon, since, yes, Paleocestes would have met humans, though they would have been almost extinct by that time due to shrinking habitat. So, yeah, that's probably why they don't cover it, but please, we need the fine gentleman in a documentary. Dromaeornis, I just want to see. I actually really like Dromaeornis. It's really sad. It appears in, like, nothing. We always see Genyornis, which is nice, of course, but I really want to see Dromaeornis, and there's only one documentary in which it appears in. Actually, Paleocestes also only has one documentary where it appears in, and that is, Once Upon Australia, and that's very outdated, so it'd be really nice to see it. And Dromaeornis, the only documentary it appears in is, I believe, National Geographic Super Predators. It's kind of a weird documentary. I have been able to find that in, like, low quality. This is kind of off topic, but I was able to find the documentary in low quality, but if anyone comment down below if you can find the documentary in higher quality, I'll do the screen time of that, because I actually am really interested in doing that. But anyways, Quincana has literally nothing. From what I can find, it has appeared in literally no documentaries, which is a shame. Also, the reason why, like, the other two are pretty obvious why I'm kind of replacing them, but why Thylacoleo instead of Megalania? I like Megalania too much for me to replace it with Quincana, so that's why I'm replacing Thylacoleo, since it's literally in everything, and Megalania is in most things, but technically not all of them. Thylacoleo is literally every single one. So, yeah. That's why I think Quincana really should appear. It's a literal terrestrial crocodile. I'm surprised they have not used this in any documentaries yet. Anyways, Surviving Earth, I could definitely see them appearing in, since we do know they are going to be covering mammals. Since we can't see this, I forgot to mention this little poster thing, which actually kind of has teasers for things that are going to be in the show. And you can see mammals, and I know these are like elephants and saber-toothed cats and bears and wolves, so this might be more North America, but maybe they could touch on Australia temporarily. So yeah, generally these are some pretty cool ones. And they'll probably touch on the other ones as well, but these are some ones specifically I'd like to see. Then in Dinodex, of course, all these creatures could appear, though there's nothing saying that they will, but at the same time, nothing saying that they won't. Generally, I don't know. Quincana, I could definitely see getting in here, but they'll might get pushed out due to Caprisuchus. Dromaeornis, if they wanted to go with the Australian bird, I could definitely see them going with. And Paleocestes, tough. Honestly, this is one of the thing is the franchise sometimes goes with a really obscure creature, and sometimes it doesn't. So, it's kind of like, I could definitely see them going with it, since they've done Ozoraptor and Photolongosaurus, two kind of really obscure species, which would have had more obvious choices. So, yeah, possibly, though, I don't really know. Anyways, Parasitus. My beautiful, thick whale boy has not appeared in anything, unfortunately. Surviving Earth, I guess it could appear in, though I kind of doubt it, since the only extinction it's kind of near, I believe, is the Eocene extinction, and I think it did live a little bit before that, so, yeah, I doubt that it's going to appear here, but you could always hope. Dinodex, another place, of course, it could appear. Honestly, this is completely up to the creators of the show if they really want to put this guy in here. That's pretty much goes for all these creatures that I'm saying could be in Dinodex. So, yeah, I really hope it is here, but there's really nothing pointing towards it or away from that. Anyways, Carcharodontosaurus has been robbed of appearances. It barely appeared in anything. Like, it's always either, like, they just focus on Spinosaurus, or they just talk about his more popular cousin, Giganotosaurus, and it's a shame. Carchar has appeared in a few things in the past, and usually even then, it doesn't get too much of an appearance. The only good appearance Carcharodontosaurus has had was in Planet Dinosaurs and Dinosaur King. Those are the only good appearances it had. Anyways, Walking with Dinosaurs better have this thing here. They literally have a episode focused in the formation where Carcharodontosaurus literally lived, and, like, we want a Spinosaurus versus Carchar rematch. Doesn't have to be over the top. Could just even be a face-off. Maybe even just showing Spinosaurus scare away Carcharodontosaurus with it seemingly being much larger. Honestly, I would love to see that. Please, Carcharodontosaurus needs to appear here. Surviving Earth, we also know Spinosaurus is going to be appearing here. I'll touch back around this because Spinosaurus appears in like almost all these dinosaur documentaries because you're a Spinosaurus. But anyways, Surviving Earth, Carchard, again, having an episode taking place most likely with Spinosaurus, unless they're trying to pull a trick on us and this is actually like Oshaliah or something stupid like that. Well, Oshaliah isn't stupid, but you get my point. Honestly, I think it's pretty likely Carcharodontosaurus could appear here too. And also, this Life on Our Planet documentary, we literally have, I'm going to call it Life on Our Planet 2, even though technically I don't think it's considered Life on Our Planet 2. Just want to make that clear, I'm just going to refer to it as Life on Our Planet 2, because it basically is. Carcharodontosaurus, we really know nothing about the plot or anything, or really what episodes are going to happen, so definitely could see Carchar appearing here, though that's kind of just a wild theory. Next is Dinodex. I actually have a better Carcharodontosaur that would fit here better, but Carcharodontosaurus could always appear here as well. And honestly, I'll take it if this is the only large theropod they're willing to put in, because man, T-Rex is good, but I cannot take seeing that thing for over half the season. Like, half of the episodes are just straight up T-Rex episodes, and please, we need some variety. Anyways, Chaos Theory Season 3, I have heard rumors, and I think there have been some things that may have confirmed that this is going to be taking place kind of near Biosyn and stuff, which means we'll probably get in the Biosyn animals, and especially if they're ending off the season, that would make sense that they would want it to take place right before Dominion, and I highly doubt that Biosyn made a Carcharodontosaurus to live with their Giganotosaurus as well. So, yeah. Though, I think it would be pretty interesting to see a Carcharodontosaur in the Jurassic franchise. Next, Shantungosaurus. Man, I love Shantungosaurus. Definitely could appear in the new Walking with Dinosaurs episode, especially if they have an episode centered around late Cretaceous Asia, which I wouldn't be surprised if they did another Cretaceous episode. Still think that'd be pretty interesting to see. Shantungosaurus. Next, we have Surviving Earth. Again, also don't have any episodes. Again, we don't really know any of the episodes, but I don't see anything directly really pointing to taking place where Shantungosaurus lived, though I think it'd be cool to see it. This Life on Our Planet documentary, same thing I've said with pretty much everything else for this documentary. Could appear here, or it may not. Please, Dinodex. Shantungosaurus is perfect for the Dino Kids franchise. They like to do things that are the most, well, kind of record-breaking for different groups. For example, Megalodon is the biggest shark, Titanoboa the biggest snake, Meganera one of the biggest flying insects, and so on and so forth. So, Shantungosaurus being the largest hadrosaur would be perfect. Also, it would be kind of interesting to see, like, maybe a dino experiment covering how theropods could have even tried to hunt this thing, since it would most likely live in herds in the show, and also this thing is massive, so yeah. Shantungosaurus would be awesome to see. And also, Dino Kids franchise knows how to treat herbivores. They can actually fight back, so we know Shantungosaurus will be treated right, though it is debatable the design, especially with the newer designs, but I still don't think that they would mess this guy up, and if they keep it relatively reasonable, this could be a great creature to appear on the show. And now we have Chaos Theory Season 3. I really want to, especially after seeing Suchomimus and Majungasaurus, I really want to see how the creators would actually make a design for Shantungosaurus. It would look really cool. Just, all they need to do is just, especially since Chaos Theory, unlike the other parts of the Jurassic franchise, actually think herbivores are cool and can do stuff with them, having Shantungosaurus would be awesome, and this thing would be a menace to society. So yeah, I think even the mainline Jurassic films, possibly even Rebirth, could possibly handle Shantungosaurus, though I don't know how they would do it with it temperament-wise. I feel it would literally just be there. They would probably make it like the proper size, but have it be like one-shotted by the Rex just to show how cool Rex is for some reason. But design-wise, I think they would actually do a good Shantungosaurus, I have to admit that. Anyways, Helicoprion barely appears in anything. Surviving Earth, we know there is going to be some episodes taking place in the Paleozoic, which could be like late Carboniferous, since it does look like there's a giant millipede, so kind of could be Arthropleura, or it could be late Permian, since we have like something that kind of looks like Dimetrodon, and that little lizard thing could really be anything. So yeah, we might have it at the Great Dying, which the Great Dying is almost certainly going to be in this documentary. This is a documentary covering mass extinctions. The Great Dying is literally the largest extinction event, so of course Helicoprion could definitely appear there. And I could be wrong, but didn't Helicoprion live in the Carboniferous as well, or did it live just in the Permian and possibly parts of the Triassic? Not 100% sure, but Helicoprion would be great to see. Anyways, Dinodex, again, really could appear, or it may not. It's a weird creature, so I could definitely see them going with it. Really unique, and it's shark adjacent, so they could probably have an episode comparing it to Megalodon, so yeah. Next, Leviathan. I love Leviathan. Surviving Earth. We have a shark that's shown here, which is one of two things, most likely. It's most likely either Megalodon or Cretoxyrhina, which means it's either take place during the Cretaceous, which if so, then Leviathan definitely not, unless according to Dino Dana, the movie, beginning, maybe. But realistically, yeah, no. Leviathan would have lived in the Miocene, would have lived at the same time as Megalodon. Prime opportunity if they're doing that, please. Leviathan would be great to see. Dinodex, we could get a Leviathan redesign, since we already had it in Dino Dana, and its design wasn't perfect, so they could definitely make a more accurate and more unique design. Anyways, Diplocalus, peak life form. Anyways, Surviving Earth, again, we already covered it. We're going to have one probably during the Carboniferous or Permian, and Diplodocus lived during both. So yeah, Diplodocus would be great to see there. Anyways, Dinodex, I don't know exactly how much of a role this creature could play there, but definitely could see them going with it, because it is a really weird amphibian. And then also forgot to, let me see a little bit further. What's the next one? Oh yeah, Mapusaurus and Argentinosaurus. Mapusaurus and Argentinosaurus I think would be pretty interesting additions. And I kind of put these two together, though. I don't know if they would both fit for all of them, though. A lot of them, they're kind of a case of, you might as well have both of them here, or you should just have them both here. Anyways, Walking with Dinosaurs, maybe that last episode takes place in South America. And if so, we could have Mapusaurus possibly hunting Argentinosaurus. Next one. Life on Our Planet documentary definitely could have an episode taking place with, in the formation in which Mapusaurus and Argentinosaurus live. Kind of forgot to mention, Mapusaurus got like its best appearance in Planet Dinosaur and then nothing else. It also got a Dinosaur King appearance, which was also good, but Planet Dinosaur I still think did a little bit better, and Argentinosaurus is literally the largest dinosaur. There's other dinosaurs that are kind of considered the largest, but like, those are not really known from very well remains and very questionable. Argentinosaurus is the only one known from somewhat good remains. So yeah, Argentinosaurus hasn't gotten really any appearances since like the 2000s or early 2010s. Anyways, Mapusaurus should be in Dinodex. I think it actually makes more sense for this guy to be in here than instead of Carcharodontosaurus. Probably should have been in season 1, since there are several episodes and times where Mapusaurus would have made way more sense than having T-Rex in the episode. Mapusaurus was also mentioned in Dinodex in the first episode, when they do say it's bigger than T-Rex, even though it wasn't. And another thing is Mapusaurus may have been a pack hunter, and that would actually be kind of fun to explore with Mapusaurus. They even have a scene where T-Rex is pack hunting together, and it'd be pretty cool to see Mapusaurus pack hunting, since there is some evidence that they may have pack hunted. Still kind of debated, but anyways. Another thing is they have T-Rex hunt sauropods so many times in this series, which T-Rex was probably not a sauropod eater, or at least did not specialize in sauropods, unlike Mapusaurus and other Carcharodontosaurs, which would have specialized in sauropods. So yeah, Mapusaurus could have hunted Dreadnoughtus several times in the show. Mapusaurus would have been a really good addition. Now we have Dinosaurus. Probably one of, if not my favorite, Stegosaurs. Walking with Dinosaurs, there is an episode taking place in Jurassic Portugal, and Dinosaurs did live there, so yeah. Dinosaurs could definitely appear there, though I could definitely see it getting beaten out by Miragaia. Because Miragaia, I know, is a little bit more popular, but it is a bit smaller, so yeah. Though Miragaia may be synonymous with Dinosaurs, so who knows. Anyways, so it actually would make more sense for them to, a little bit safer for them to go with Dinosaurus, since no matter what the status on Miragaia is, Dinosaurus would still make sense. But anyways, the Life on Our Planet documentary, the Life on Our Planet 2.0, or whatever I'm going to call it, Dinosaurus could definitely appear there, though again, we have little information. Surviving Earth, also don't know if there's any extinctions that happened around the same time Dinosaurus was alive, but possibly, you never know. And Dinodex possibly could be a replacement for Stegosaurus, since Dinosaurus was actually larger than Stegosaurus. So, and they seem to be wanting to replace a lot of species, so this could be a replacement for Stegosaurus, or just an addition for Stegosaurus, or even just a replacement for Kentrosaurus instead. Either way, Dinosaurus would be a cool addition. Now, a properly done azhdarchid. Now, you may be different. What's the difference between a properly done azhdarchid and, well, just a not properly done azhdarchid? A properly done azhdarchid would be something like Prehistoric Planet, or even Dino Dana the movie. Those two franchises actually did an azhdarchid well, being actually hunting their prey on the ground mainly, and actually being a threat to human-sized things, which will come into play in a second. While a unproperly done azhdarchid will just have them be like, pretty much just act like a bird, like an annoying, angry bird, except bigger. Kind of boring. It's like, and even then, it's like they put them in the most cramped spaces. Yes, I am talking about that film. And they just have them knock down a plane or something ridiculous. Anyways, Walking with Dinosaurs, it's honestly really likely, since we do have an episode taking place late Cretaceous North America with T-Rex and Triceratops, so we could definitely see one there. We also have, I believe Azhdarcho, or some sort of, maybe not Azhdarcho, I can't remember which one it was, I can't remember which Azhdarchid it was. Lived with Spinosaurus, we have an episode taking place there. Azhdarchids probably lived up north with Albertosaurus, I believe, and Pagurinosaurus, which we have an episode taking place there. There's just so many opportunities where Azhdarchids could appear. Primitive War, from what I've seen some concept art, which apparently is for the movie, and they had Quetzalcoatlus there. And since this is a horror film, like, come on, this is one of the most horrifying creatures in history. I feel like they could definitely do this guy right. Anyways, surviving Earth, on the poster there literally is an azhdarchid propped on top of a floating ankylosaur in the water, which most likely is Borealopelta, and I don't know if azhdarchids lived with it, and they also didn't live at sea. This probably is supposed to just to represent a generic pterosaur, but we also see the pterosaurs all over the poster, and we're going to have the KPG extinction, which Quetzalcoatlus would have been around there, and many other azhdarchids, so I think it's pretty likely an azhdarchid would appear here. Chaos Theory Season 3, again, if they're going with the Biosyn thing is true, then this would be perfect. Just perfect. Also, it'd make the rebirth Quetzalcoatlus even more pathetic, but the thing is with Chaos Theory, they take things from other parts of the series. For example, let's take the Atrociraptors. No one really liked the Atrociraptors. They weren't really anything special in Dominion, mainly because they had a good idea behind them, but they were just poorly executed. What Chaos Theory did was they took that idea and they executed it properly, and, well, the Atrociraptors were really nice in Chaos Theory. So taking the Quetzalcoatlus, which was really well designed, but was just there for like 2 seconds to knock down a plane, if they were to take that design, they probably have to make a minor retcon, which I don't think would be too much of an issue. They just shrunk it down like half its size, or just shrunk it down a little bit, and had it hunt on the ground. Honestly, that would be one of the most horrifying scenes, and done probably even better than Dino Dana the movie, because again, for some reason, that is the only kid show that can actually do azhdarchids right. Anyways, I definitely think that Chaos Theory could have the Dominion Quetzalcoatlus, but actually scary. Anyways, we have the new Life on Our Planet. Well, again, Life on Our Planet 2.0. They're covering the Mesozoic. I could definitely see an azhdarchid appearing here. It'd actually be kind of surprising if it did. And actually, now that I think of it, I don't think any azhdarchids appeared in Life on Our Planet, even though we did have an episode taking place in a place where it would have actually made sense. Pretty interesting. Anyways, Dino Dex has no pterosaurs as of now, and they have 2 prime options. They kind of have 1 pterosaur, actually. One of the prime options is redesigning the Quetzalcoatlus, which I think would actually be really nice, but I think I prefer the other option, which is Hatzegopterus. They had a 2D design for it in the episode Dino World, but can we have a physical appearance of the animal? And it could definitely be really interesting to see Hatzegopterus, kind of as a replacement for Quetzalcoatlus. I love Quetzalcoatlus, and maybe it can appear in a later season with a redesign, but as of now, I think Hatzegopterus would be nice to give it some time to shine. Next, we have Paraceratherium. And, yeah, Paraceratherium, a large rhino relative, and, it has appeared in quite, now, the more and more I go looking into dinosaur documentaries, I realize it actually has appeared in quite a few things. They're usually just documentaries that are really hard to find, but, yeah, I think it could possibly appear in Surviving Earth. Don't know if there's any mass extinction events around it, though. And, again, we have mammals, Cenozoic, who knows. Dino Dex, I think, would also be a really good place for this animal to appear. Since they did Elasmotherium, in fact, Elasmotherium and Shibuya were probably the 2 best done creatures in Dino Dex. I'm considering like design-wise and also just general appearance-wise, I think that Paraceratherium would be used very well. I think it would have a great design, and it would also be interesting, again, kind of falls in the category of the biggest, even though technically Paleoloxodon is larger. Paraceratherium is more popular, and I could definitely see them going with Paraceratherium and trying to pull it as the largest mammal, and it was still one of the largest mammals. And, yeah, Paraceratherium I think would just be really cool to see, and I think they would give it a pretty nice design. Next, we have a terror bird with sickle claw. Pretty much just an accurate terror bird, and we recently just discovered that terror birds most likely actually had sickle claws, kind of like similar to dromaeosaurs. So, again, Surviving Earth has Cenozoic segments, and possibly they will have a segment that features terror birds, and hopefully they give it a sickle claw. Next, Dino Dex, prime opportunity. They could either have Titanus come back with a redesign, because the other Dino Dana Titanus was kind of ugly, I'm not gonna lie. And there's just something kind of off with it. It didn't look much like a bird for some reason. But, yeah, they could definitely redo one that looks more like an actual bird and more accurate to the real-life animal and give it a sickle claw. Or they could just replace it with Clinican. Either way, I think I want to see a terror bird with a sickle claw. Now on to my honorable mention section. There are a few things I actually forgot to put on here, so I'm just going to mention the ones I have here, and then I'll talk about the ones I forgot to add. First thing, Carnotaurus. I didn't mention it because I honestly don't know why. Carnotaurus honestly could just appear in all of these, especially Dino Dex. I really want to see it in there. But it could appear in many other dinosaur documentaries, and Carnotaurus has already appeared quite a bit, so that's why I kind of left it off. But anyways, the other one is Basilosaurus. The thing with Basilosaurus, it already got a perfect appearance in Walking with Beasts, so it technically doesn't really need one. So yeah, there's kind of that. And I think I kind of wanted to leave room for Paracetus since, again, Basilosaurus already got a perfect appearance in media, and Paracetus has none. So yeah, that's why I decided to move Basilosaurus here. Next is Dilophosaurus, which Dilophosaurus appeared in When Dinosaurs Roamed America and Prehistoric. Prehistoric, its appearance was actually really good, especially for the time in When Dinosaurs Roamed America, and for Prehistoric, it was also pretty decent, just it didn't do much. It kind of just walked around and ate some fish in one scene. Otherwise, Dilophosaurus didn't do much. Also, I'd like to see it in, like, Rebirth, I guess, and all these other dinosaur documentaries. I think Dilophosaurus would be really nice to see, especially also like Dino Dex in the Walking with Life in Our Planet one. I kind of forgot to put it in here, so that's why I kind of putting in the honorable mentions. And I feel like I had another one that I wanted to put in the honorable mentions, but I cannot remember what it is. Maybe I'll add it in later if I can remember, but yeah. Anyways, now we are moving on to our bonus section. A bunch of creatures all the creatures from this video that would have been good in Rebirth, but I don't think they're not going to be here. For example, we're going to start with Carcharodontosaurus. Would have been a great villain dinosaur, but no, they had to put that hideous mutant in. Mapusaurus would have been even better. I'll link the video in the description. You've probably seen his Vividens video rank. Pretty much showing the updated list of mega theropods, and he mentioned that it would be a really cool idea if they had Mapusaurus as a villain in a Jurassic film, where they could have like a whole pack of them, or gang, or mob, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever it actually is depicted as. I've just been stuck on that idea, and now I really want to see that in a Jurassic film. Just imagine a group of giant theropods being the antagonists in a Jurassic film. Shantungosaurus also. Even if it doesn't have to, I prefer it to be the antagonist dinosaur. But if they didn't go that route, at least having it as an aggressive herbivore, or at least having a significant role in the film, I think would be really cool. It's a massive hadrosaur, please. This would be awesome. Or even have like a story of like it being on the island and maybe the rest of its herd got killed by something. And that's why Shantungosaurus is aggressive, kind of just trying to scare anything off to make sure nothing like that happens again. Or even you could have like some explanation, even if you want to go with that hideous mutant thing. Maybe have the explanation that the mutant like killed the rest of the other Shantungosaurus, and this Shantungosaurus is just enraged and wants to get vengeance or something. I honestly don't know. Dinosaurs think would just be cool. And technically, it hasn't been confirmed, but at the same time, it was not put into the leaks. Which you may be saying, well, Dilophosaurus was there, though Dilophosaurus, I believe those leaks were, I have no idea how they got those leaks, but I think they were from data mines from Jurassic World Alive or some other games. And Dinosaurus is is a new creature, so it would have definitely been in there. And Dilophosaurus wouldn't have, since it's the same Dilophosaurus. So yeah, that's why I don't think Dinosaurus is going to be in the film. Argentinosaurus, you already know this is a replacement. I'm not going to even waste time talking about it. Would have been better than Titanosaurus. And then the well-executed azhdarchid. I don't think the Quetzalcoatlus is bad in Rebirth, and I think it's going to be alright in the film. Like, it's going to be decent, but personally, I would have preferred a scene of it hunting on the ground instead of it being slapped in a cave and barely having any room to really move around. And then, Ichthyotitan, or any large ichthyosaur. It's basically just the Mosasaurus we're getting, except actually properly. Instead of getting a actual massive marine reptile, we're just getting Mosasaurus, but scaled up. So, yeah. Anyways, those are all the creatures that I hope really appears in more, and pretty much in new paleo media coming out. Let me know if I forgot any documentaries, or just comment down below lists of creatures that you would like to see appear in more recent paleo media. And, yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!